There we go. We're good. All right, section 1.3, linear inequalities. Linear inequalities is your learning target. Linear inequalities. Remember graphing? You remember when we graphed last year? Yes. I will show you how we use graphing calculators. We're not going to use the graphing calculators there. I'll show you what we'll use. Okay. Linear inequalities. When we graphed last year, you guys saw this. When we had an inequality, let's say y equals 2x plus 1, and we graph that. Remember, this is my x, this is my y. And we did this T-chart like this, and we put x and y. Okay? So if I put in 0 for x, I know what my y is going to be 1. And I can go down, put 1 in for it, and I come up with a value of 3. And with 3 of these, you can come up with a pretty good line then. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So I know that I can graph these out, and I know that if I use 0 for my x, my y is going to be 1. If I use 1 for x, it's going to be up here at 3, and so on. We're going to graph a line. All right? Remember doing that. The inequalities is going to come in like this. Same premise. But now, oh well, so much for that. We are going to make this an inequality. I'm going to say y is less than or equal to 2x minus 1, or 2x plus 1. Inequalities means that we're going to have shaded areas. So if I graph this line again, probably could have left it. Let's do it in red. We were here, and we'd probably be up here somewhere. So if we graph this line again, we would know, number one, there's my line. I did my T-chart, x and y. Okay. But now we're going to be shading in one of the areas. How do we find it? What was the result? What was the result? How are we going to find which side to shade in? What will we do? Okay. I'm going to put in my 0 here, and I found out that if x is 0, it's going to be 1, right? So I know this is the point. What if I set y to 0? Where, if I wanted this to be true, I would find out where my 0 point in. Why would I want to look for this point in there? What would I do? If I put in 0 and 0 here, is this statement true or is it false? If it's false, then we know that 0, 0, this side of it is not into this equation. And if it's not, then it has to be the other side of the graph. That's the way we shade it. Yeah. So if I took, let's say I took, I don't know which one I'd take here. Let's take negative 1, 1. So if I put 1 in for y, and I put negative 1 in for x, so 1 here, is that less than or equal to a negative 2 plus 1? No. So we shaded the wrong side, didn't we? If I put 0 into this, I trusted you guys on this. Did you throw me for a loop? Huh? Did you throw me for a loop? Nah, hey, I got to have this proof to show that you guys threw me for a loop. All right. No, I don't do the recording there. All right, let's put 0 in here. 0 for y is that less than or equal to 1? I put 0 in here. 2 times 0 is 0, right? Plus 1 is 1. Is 0 less than or equal to? So then we know that 0, 0 actually is a true statement, so we would shade this side of it. All right? You understand how that works? We'll do it again. Trust me. All right. Let's try a linear inequality. Y is greater than, let's say, y is greater than x squared minus 1. X squared minus 1. Let's draw our map. If we put 0 into this, what's my y? We got to graph it first, right? Where's my y? Negative 1 right here. All right? If we put 1 into this, what's my y? 0. Put 1 into it. It's y. If I put negative 1 into this, what's my y? If I put 2 into this, where is it? 2 into this, it'd be 3. So it's up here somewhere. It'd be negative 3. So we're going to make this parabola here, right? I want to know, where do I shade it in? What do I use to figure out where to shade it in? Some point on here that would be easy to use to put in there to find out if it's true or false. What coordinate would you use? Kaylee, what would you use? Kayla, what would you use? Lowest point ain't the right answer. What did I use last time to figure out? 0, 0. Isn't that this point right here? So if it's true in here, if we put 0 into this and it's true, then we know we shade into the middle. If it's not true, then we know this isn't one of the solutions, so we shade on the outside. All right, let's take a look. 0 is greater than or equal, what's 0 squared? 0 minus 1. Is 0 greater than or equal to minus 1? Yeah, it's true. So we can shade in where the 0 is, right in here. That's the place where we shade in it. Hey, you guys gave me the answer before. This one I figured out. What's that? I picked a point inside the parabola. This is an easy point. Always the easiest point. As long as your line does not go through, listen up, as long as your line does not go through the 0, 0 coordinate, use 0, 0 to find out if it's true or not. Then you're going to have to grab a point that's somewhere. So let's say we change this to y is less than or equal to x squared. I don't know. Let's find out. So we make our parabola here, and it comes down through this. Actually, it hits at 0, 0 down here, right? A parabola, right? We can't use 0, 0 in this case because the line goes through 0, 0. Okay? We can use 1, 0 right here, right? So we can say, is 0 less than or equal to 1 squared, which is 1? Is 0 less than or equal to? Yeah, it is. So outside of the parabola here is where we would color in. No. Okay. What happens if I have this? Y is greater than 2x minus 5. Y is greater than 2x minus 5. I draw my coordinate. I do my t-chart. X, Y. 0, -5, 1, -3, 2, -1. Okay, so it's starting down here somewhere. Let me move my line. All right, I've got 0, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 1, -3, and I've got 2, -1. So my line is going like this. Here's the difference. On a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, it's a solid line. On just a less than or a greater than, it's a dashed line. It means it's not equal to it. We're not going to equal that. So in this case here, this is a dashed line that goes through here. All right? We still take the same thing. We can use coordinate 0, 0 because that's a real easy one to use. Put 0, 0 into this. 2 is greater than negative, or 0 is greater than -5? True. So wherever 0, 0 is on that side, that's where we shade. Heck no. Let's see what I want to give you. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you have, and this is what we're going to do. This is something you will see. I'm going to say f of x equals 2x plus 1. I want you to find the 0 value for it. How would you find a 0 value for it? You plug in 0 for y and solve for x. Michael, are you listening? I didn't think so. To find a 0 value, Danielle, I'll talk about you all day. All right. Here, put a 0 in for f of x and solve for x. Yep. You put a -1 over here equals 2x. X equals a -1/2. That's how you solve. That's going to be part of it. Never mind. You'll figure it out when you get there. Let's see. All right, good. Okay. I am going to give you guys an assignment. Now, listen. My son came home with pre-calc assignment, had 30 problems the other night. 30 problems. 30 problems. So it depends on how you guys have treated me. Not yet. Not yet. Let's do 14, page 25. $14, $16, $17, $21, or $17, $19, and $21. $17, $19, $21. And on page 26, I want you to do 23, 27, and 31. 23, 27, and 31. That's it. All right, any questions?